You thinking about making a move to Friendswood, Texas? Well, in this video, I'm gonna take you guys all around town. I'm gonna show you the best places to eat, some of the most popular hotspots here, and things to do so you can see firsthand for yourself what it's like to actually call Friendswood, Texas your home. And then, of course, if you stay to the end, we are going to dive into the real estate aspect of Friendswood, and I'm gonna show you guys some amazing communities that you definitely need to know about. And we're gonna get after it right now. Sorry guys, I had to get some coffee before we start our day, but if this is your first time in our channel and you want to know everything about what it's like to live in the greater Houston area, then make sure you smash that subscribe button down below and tap the bell icon so you can be the first to know about the current market conditions in the greater Houston area. My name is Andrew Lake. I'm with the Life in Houston Realty team. And we get calls from people just like you every day that are wanting to relocate here to the greater Houston area. So whether you are 7 days out or 7 months out from making a move, go ahead and give us a shout. You can send us a text or shoot us an email or give us a call. All the contact information for us will be in the description box down below, and we will be glad to help you make a smooth move to the greater Houston area. So with all of that being said, let's begin our journey for the day. So where is the city of Friendswood located compared to the city of Houston or downtown Houston? Well, let me show you guys on a map real quick. Friendswood is located in the outer southeastern region of Houston, Texas. It's about a 35-minute drive to downtown Houston, all depending on traffic, of course, and it's super close to all of the neighboring cities with popular attractions. Pearland is a 13-minute drive. League City is an 18-minute drive. Galveston Island is roughly a 40-minute drive. Webster is a 14-minute drive. And getting to Clear Lake and other popular attractions near Kemah and Seabrook is also under 30 minutes. If you need to catch a flight, Hobby Airport is the closest public airport to Friendswood and takes just under 25 minutes to get there. So now that you guys know where Friendswood is located, I think it's time to dive into a quick history lesson for all of you history fanatics out there. So Friendswood has the distinction of being the only permanent town in Texas that was originally established as a Quaker colony in 1895. And throughout the early 1900s, the city was predominantly small and remote with a population of less than 500 citizens. And as more Houstonians found out about this new area, many began to relocate here. And the community eventually became a city and was incorporated in 1960. Fast forward to today, this little town really isn't so little anymore. It's now a thriving community with so much to offer for those who choose to call this place home. Friendswood now has a population of around 41,000 people, and the median age here being 38 years old. Friendswood also has an average household income of around $155,000. The Friendswood School District here is one of the highest rated school districts in the Houston area with an A+ rating, and we're going to dive into more on school districts later on in this video. The median home value here is $362,000, which makes this area a wonderfully affordable place to call home. So the city of Friendswood actually does a pretty amazing job at putting on some engaging events for its residents every year. And some of those annual events that are my favorite, starting off with number one, is the Daddy-Daughter Dance, which is just so freaking adorable. It's a night full of dancing, dinner, and just loads of fun. And to all of my girl dads out there, if you have a daughter, this is something that you definitely don't want to miss out on for a bonding experience. And number two on my list is concerts in the park. Concerts in the park is right over here at Stevenson Park. It's just a really fun time during the summer months of May and June. You'll have a full band, live experiences, tons of fun. There's tons of food trucks out there for you to grab a nice little bite to eat. And third on my list for the annual events is the July 4th celebration that they have here. Now, July 4th celebration is really cool. Now, Friendswood actually shuts down 518. 518 is the main road that goes through Friendswood, and there'll be thousands of people lined up on either side of this road, and they'll have about an hour and a half long parade, and it's super cool for the kiddos. If you have any kids, you definitely want to bring them out here for the July 4th celebration. And then they also have later that evening a fireworks show. And I'll tell you, my first time going to the Friendswood fireworks show, I was pretty skeptical. I was like, how good can a fireworks show actually be in a small community? And I will tell you guys, I was thoroughly thoroughly impressed when I got there and I watched the fireworks show. It's definitely something that you will be impressed by as well. So give it a chance if you're ever in the area. And last but certainly not least is one of my favorites is Santa in the Park. Now you can definitely experience the wonderful magical time of Christmas.
Oh my God!
And you'll have tons of fun. There'll be concerts here. They'll have a tree lighting ceremony, which is really cool. And then they'll have Stevenson Park just completely decked out with a ton of light shows that you can go through. If you have kiddos, even if you don't have kids at all, I mean, it's still a wonderful place to just check out, a wonderful event to go to. So 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend that you check out these events if you are ever in the area during those time frames. All right, so let's be real here for a moment, okay? It's not all rainbows and butterflies. No place is perfect. There's always gonna be some sort of downfall regardless of what area that you decide to call home here in the greater Houston region. So I'm gonna give you guys 3 pros and I'm gonna give you guys 3 cons. But before we dive into that, I am staring at this place called Sweet Paris, and it's really giving me a sweet tooth. So let's go grab some crepes real quick. I'm gonna take you guys along with me, and let's go check this place out. Man, it should be illegal for a place to be this freaking good. Well, let's continue on with our video. All right, guys, starting off with pro number 1 is all about location, location, location. Now, even if you don't work in the city of Friendswood itself, you have easy access to major freeways like I-45 and Beltway 8, aka Sam Houston Parkway, to get where you need to go within the city of Houston. However, rush hour in Houston is absolutely god-awful, and I would avoid using the major freeways during rush hour if you can. Avoid it like you would avoid COVID. It truly is awful.
Traffic, no more traffic.
But more on location, everything is close by here in the Friendswood area. If it's not here, it's close. You have things like food, shopping, dining, fishing, bay access, which is just down the road off of NASA Road 1, which is basically 528, just turns into NASA Road 1 once you cross I-45. You have things like Main Event, which is a super large gaming center, which is also really fun for adults. It's mainly for kids, but adults can have fun too, right? You have local watering holes, local owned bars and restaurants. I mean, everything is super close by, and it's all within an arm's reach, so you don't have to drive into Houston, not Galveston. You don't have to drive into Houston 45 minutes to an hour just to find something to do. Everything is right here near to you. And pro number 2, as if you can't already tell where I'm at, is the Friendswood Independent School District. Now this district here is one of the most top rated districts in all of the greater Houston area and is a phenomenal alternative to private schools and other private academies. So the Friendswood Independent School District has an A+ rating for academics, A+ rating for the teachers, A+ rating for the clubs and activities, and A ratings for college prep and administration. The average graduation rate is 99%, the average SAT score is 1250, and the average ACT score is 28. In Friendswood ISD, there is roughly 6,213 students and a student to teacher ratio of 16:1. So we're in Texas, right? And Texas is kind of a big deal when it comes to sports. And here at Friendswood ISD, you have absolutely no shortage of what kind of athletic programs to put your child into. And in Friendswood ISD, you have things like baseball, football, soccer, lacrosse, wrestling, softball, volleyball, diving, swimming. I mean, rest assured, you have plenty of options here to choose from. If you want to keep your kids busy here at Friendswood ISD, rest assured they can stay busy all year long. Let's switch it up for a little bit and let me tell you about con number 1. Here's what you need to know about the city of Friendswood, Texas. Now, the city is divided up into 2 separate counties, Harris County and Galveston County. And why is that important, you may ask yourself? Well, I'm glad you asked that. Where you determine or where you end up purchasing a home one day will determine two things, right? Number one, what school districts that you're going to be zoned to, and number two, if you're going to be required to carry what's called windstorm insurance. On the Harris County side, you will not be required to purchase windstorm insurance. However, you will not be zoned to Friendswood ISD either. You will be zoned to what's called Clear Creek ISD, which honestly is still a phenomenal school district. It's just a much larger district than Friendswood ISD. Now, if you purchase a home in the Galveston County side of Friendswood, Texas, then you will be zoned to Friendswood ISD school districts. However, you will also be required to carry what's called windstorm insurance if you finance a home, because Galveston County is considered a coastal county in the perspective or the eyes of an insurance carrier. And with that being said, that's going to transition us into con number two, which is all about property taxes. And this is something to watch out for, and that can be said for all of Houston or the greater Houston area, actually. So each neighborhood can have a different tax rate. And you need to watch out for that because it could hinder some affordability if affordability is something that you're going to be conscious or aware of. And each neighborhood will have a different property tax rate. I know that might sound a little bit odd to you guys who aren't familiar with Texas property tax codes, but it's most certainly something to watch out for. Typically what we see is the newer the community, the higher the tax rate will be. It's not always the case, but most of the time that's what we see, where those higher tax rates are in those brand new development communities. Coming in at con number three is going to be all about the flooding issues here in Friendswood. So some of the older communities or older homes that are located in Friendswood are going to be a little bit more prone to flooding issues during major storms than others. And typically those properties are going to be located in Zone AE or the 100-year floodplain on the FEMA flood maps. Now I will say Friendswood has done a phenomenal job at fixing some of their drainage issues that have been going on here since Hurricane Harvey. So it's not to say that those properties will never flood again, but they've done all that they can to mitigate some more flooding issues in the future. And moving on to pro number three is going to be all about the community here. And what's really nice about Friendswood is it has that small town vibe with big city amenities kind of feel, and you can very easily form new friendships and new relationships here in this town. People are very friendly here, hence the word, they're living up to the name Friendswood. People will welcome you here with open arms. And to all my introverts out there, I know that that probably sounds like your worst nightmare, but don't panic. I promise you, no one's gonna shame you for not getting out there and building new relationships or meeting new people.
Why won't you talk to me?
But if you ever wanted that kind of support system, you can very easily find that, which honestly is one of my favorite characteristics about this town that I truly admire. So Friendswood is absolutely no stranger to some of the most delicious food that you can find, and I'm about to show you guys some local favorites. Let's go. Now first up on the list is Maggiano's. Now Maggiano's is a fine upscale Italian restaurant, perfect for birthday celebrations or even a date night. I've been here plenty of times myself, and this place right here, Maggiano's, is by far one of the best authentic Italian restaurants that I have ever been to. And next on the list is one of my favorites. It's actually called the Rapport. Now the Rapport right here behind me is upscale Cajun food. This is some of the finest Cajun food that I've ever had, and they have something called the Big Easy Trio, which is an absolute delicious dessert. And then the boudin stuffed chicken is also amazing. So if you're ever here in the area, make sure you check out the Rapport, some of the finest Cajun food that I've ever personally had the pleasure of eating. Now if you're looking for the finest steakhouse in town, you must check out Perry's Steakhouse. Perry's Steakhouse is absolutely one of my favorite steakhouses to go to, especially during those special occasions or date nights or anniversaries. This place right here behind me has the absolute best Wagyu beef and Wagyu steaks I've ever had. And then their crab cakes for an appetizer, oh my God, it's an absolute thing to die for. It is so freaking delicious. So if you're ever here in the Friendswood area, make sure you check out Perry's Steakhouse. They've been around for a very long time and for good reason. And next on the list is something called the Burger Joint. Now, I will say the Burger Joint is a little bit more on the expensive side, but their burgers here are absolutely mouth-watering delicious, and they even sell beer here. So you want burgers and beer? Well, it's here. Man, I'm starting to think this was a bad idea. I'm getting pretty hungry. And next on our list is the 1895 Tavern. Now, if you're looking for upscale dining, but a little bit smaller and more of an intimate type of setting, this will be your place to go to. And the best way I can really describe their food here is it's kind of like an American, or European, I should say. It's European and American accented type of food. When you look at the menu, it's a little interesting, but I definitely say give it a shot. Their food here is absolutely really good. It looks kind of like a hole in the wall place, but trust me guys, this is definitely a place you want to go to for some of those smaller, intimate type of settings. So check out B1895 Tavern. Friendswood also has a ton of options for Tex-Mex, which all of us Texans live for. That's kind of what, fajitas, enchiladas, all those tacos, basically all the yummy stuff that is just absolutely terrible for you. Yes, we live for that down here in Texas. We are Tex-Mex here. So Friendswood, has everything that you could possibly want or need. So I'm sure you guys get the idea. There's no shortage of food options whenever it comes to Friendswood. Now, before we move on from the subject of food, if you are not native to Texas, there's one extremely critical detail that you absolutely need to have ingrained into your brain forever.
Forever. Forever.
3 letters, H-E-B. Now, this is every Texan's go-to grocery store, and so you're gonna have to get used to it. Now, there is one here in Friendswood, which is great. That's the one right behind me. But if you're looking for a larger H-E-B, there is one that they just built just down the street in the neighboring city called Friendswood. But get used to it, guys. If you're gonna move to Texas and you are not a Texas native, this right here is where you are going to be doing all of your grocery shopping. Now, before we move on to our community tours, I want to tell you about this place where I'm at right now. This place is called Baybrook Mall. And what's an interesting characteristic about Baybrook Mall is it's physically located in the city of Houston, but it has a Friendswood address. Hence why we're including this mall inside of our Friendswood vlog tours. Baybrook Mall is massive, and it is located on Bay Area Boulevard and I-45. This mall has over 1.2 million square feet of retail, outdoor dining with several options to choose from, including a few restaurants that we have already covered here in this video, a cocktail lounge, a turf area for the kids to just have some fun, a movie theater, Dave & Buster's arcade, and 204 shopping stores and restaurants. It's a really nice place to come do all of your shopping, all of your dining, meet some new people, and just have some fun. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. We talk a lot about residential, and I believe it's important for you to know about the commercial aspect of Friendswood and what's in store for the future. We all know businesses of all sizes are the backbone and drive the hyper-local economy. And behind me is the future Friendswood City Center. The future Friendswood City Center is a 106-acre project that broke ground in February 2024, and the total build-out time is expected to take 3 to 4 years. The City Center is expected to bring in additional $700 million in revenue for the city of Friendswood. This development will feature Friendswood's first luxury hotel, 500-unit multifamily complex, medical and office buildings with 200,000 square feet, retail shops and spaces with 150,000 square feet, mixed-use structures and condominiums with 225,000 square feet, entertainment areas, some smaller pad sites, a 52-acre park that will be donated to the city with a 5.2-mile trail, a fully stocked fishing lake, waterfalls, wetlands, and more. According to the developer Thanos, the project could infuse about $750 million worth of new property value into the city, as well as add entertainment options and amenities that the city currently lacks. This makes investing into a home in the city of Friendswood ideal for all of its future residents. All right, guys, so I'm pretty sure that you're getting tired of hearing me talk all about Friendswood, and it is time that we transition into our community tours. And the first community that we're going to go to is called West Ranch. Now, the location of West Ranch is right off of what's called 518, FM 518. 518 is one of the main roads that flows through the city of Friendswood. And if you were to leave the downtown area of Friendswood and go towards what's called League City, that's where you'll find West Ranch. And 518 kind of separates two different sides of West Ranch. We have one side is the older side, and then the other side of 518 of West Ranch is the newer side. And today we're gonna tour the newer side. But without further ado, let's go take a tour of West Ranch. Come with me, follow along with me, and let's drive there together. All right guys, well, we made it to our first community of West Ranch. Now I'm on this beautiful bridge here. Of course, you don't have to cross a bridge to get inside West Ranch. I just thought this would be an amazing spot to kind of show off to you guys here. Now this bridge, you see this beautiful waterfall behind me. You got a school over here behind me. So let me tell you a little bit more about this community and some statistics that you should probably be aware of about West Ranch. So let me tell you about those real quick. Now West Ranch has roughly 1,300 homes here in this development. Right now, as the making of this video, it has 10 homes currently listed on the market with price ranges from $500,000 all the way up to $1.5 million, which puts the median home price here at $740,000 or roughly $198 a square foot. For here in this community, our tax rate sitting at 2.2%, which is actually really good. The HOA dues here, you are in a HOA. The HOA is $1,250 per year. Now, to some of you guys, that might sound like a lot. However, the HOA comes loaded with plenty of features, has 2 community pools and clubhouses, jogging paths, party rooms, playgrounds, splash pads for those kiddos, stock ponds, and a nearby lake. Now, homes here in this neighborhood are zoned to Friendswood ISD, the Friendswood Independent School District. Your elementary school is called Klein Elementary, which is an A-rated school with 816 total students. The middle school here is Friendswood Junior High, which is also an A-rated school and has roughly 1,482 students currently enrolled. And then of course your high school is going to be Friendswood High School, which again is also an A-rated school with roughly 1,983 students. All right, now that you guys know some stats about the neighborhood, let's go take a look at the first property. This first property I'm gonna show you is listed at $500,000. So without further ado, let's go. All right guys, well, we've made it here to the first home on our community tour. Right behind me is listed at $500,000. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. Square footage is roughly 2,567 square foot, which puts you right around $195 a square, which is pretty average in this community. Actually, it's a little bit below average, but as you can see from the neighborhood itself, I mean, it's pretty clean, nothing crazy going on here, but it's a beautiful community. You can tell people keep up their properties here for good reason. There's a lot of the home values here are between 500 and 1.5 million. So you have to do what you can to keep this area clean. And HOA does help out with that a little bit. So you can see exactly what 500 grand will get you in West Ranch. And you can get an idea of what that might look like for you if you chose to call this house home. All right, so we're walking out to the backyard. You do have a small covered patio. Here, I'll tilt the camera up so you guys can see. Small little covered patio back here, and a pretty decent sized yard space. I mean, it's not the biggest I've ever seen, but it's still a pretty good size. I mean, you still have all this space back here to do whatever it is that you want. Obviously, the two-story homes are going to be, you're going to have a lot more lot space because they're building up, not outwards. It's a beautiful home, especially for $500K here in West Ranch. It's definitely something that you would want to look into. So that'll wrap up the first house. Let's go to the next one. All right, guys, we are approaching our second home of the tour. Now, if you can tell kind of behind me, the elevations and the architecture has changed a little bit. So this is the second lowest listed home in this neighborhood. This property we're about to show you is listed at $625,000. So obviously $125K more than the first home. So this house right here, right behind me, as you can see, is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. It's right just shy under 3,100 square foot. This is a beautiful home inside. I'll throw up some pictures up there. It is owner occupied, so I'm not going to be able to, I don't want to get in there and make the homeowners move and get out of the way so I can film. So I will show you guys vacant property inside. Owner occupied homes, I will have to do some pictures. Hopefully you're okay with that. Now you can tell as we start walking further down the street that the elevations change drastically. They look completely different than the first section that I had showed you guys. So you can tell, I mean, look at that one. And we're coming up on the second 2-story home here right behind me, or to my left. So you can see the elevations here in this particular part of the subdivision changes. And architecture changes, money changes, of course, as you get into difficult, complex pitches like that. Your price is going to increase. Now, one thing to know about this particular section of West Ranch, you do have a slightly higher tax rate at 2.5%, and your HOA dues are going to be a little bit more. So overall it's around $1,250, but in this particular section, which is gated, by the way, it's a gated section of West Ranch, you're looking at $1,500 a year for your HOA dues. Now, if you're looking for a gated community within West Ranch, this would be it. It's called Arborgate. Arborgate is it's a smaller section of West Ranch. So there's probably maybe 50 homes in this section out of the 1,300 total inside of West Ranch as a whole. But man, you could just really tell that, these homes here are built very well. The builder here for that particular home I just showed you was Perry. Now, Perry Homes, if you haven't heard of them, do your research. They do a lot of custom builds, and they go all out. Their craftsmanship is just second to none. They are just absolutely they care about the product that they put out there for the consumers, because if you're going to bring in that kind of money, then they need to deliver a quality product. So that was $625,000. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. All right, guys, so we've made it to the third property. We're not in a gated section, but it's still a beautiful area. Now, this property I'm about to show you right here is a 5-bedroom, 3.5-bath home, just shy under 3,900 square foot. It was built in 2014. Now you can tell there's a drastic change as far as the elevation is concerned. It doesn't look so premium or custom, but it's still a beautiful home on the inside. It's listed at $725,000. I don't know if I mentioned that to you guys, but it's still a beautiful home, built in 2014. Definitely pieced together very well, put together very well, I should say, not pieced, but it's still a beautiful home. All right, well, let's move on to the next home. Now we're coming up on one of the most expensive homes that is currently for sale inside West Ranch. This property right here is listed just shy under $1.5 million. It is 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, and around 5,900 square foot. This house right behind me, this beautiful property backs up to the lake, and I can't wait to show you guys inside. You guys ready? Let's go. Like I said, this is the most expensive property currently listed in West Ranch, 1.49. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below if this is something that you can see yourself living in. All right, guys, well, that's gonna wrap it up for West Ranch. Now let's move on to the next neighborhood. You guys know the drill. Drive with me, let's go. We have made it to our next community, and where I'm at right now is called the Forest, aka the Forest of Friendswood. And as you can see, I'm walking in these trails. There's some wooded areas behind me. These trails go all throughout the neighborhood. One of my favorite features about this neighborhood, or characteristics about this neighborhood, is that all the houses here look completely different, right? It's not the same monotonous cookie cutter home after cookie cutter home after cookie cutter home. These houses in this neighborhood they go from your regular homes that you would see to borderline custom homes, and it's an older established community here, so it's a little bit older than what we've seen so far in our tour. But here are some stats that you should know about the Forest of Friendswood. The Forest of Friendswood is known for its wooded and spacious lots, beautiful homes, and great community atmosphere. This neighborhood comprises of 640 homes that range from single-story to custom-built homes by reputable builders. The median lot size is 14,500 square feet. The median home value is sitting at $636,000 and a median price per square foot at $185. The median size of homes here in the Forest is 3,500 square feet. The community also features forest-like walking trails and is minutes away from popular golf courses. The tax rate here is an attractive 2%, and the annual HOA dues are $625. The Forest is located in Galveston County and is zoned to Friendswood ISD. Well, I hope the neighborhood information was helpful to you guys. We are coming up on the first property that I'm going to show you here in this neighborhood. And as you can see behind me, we kind of look like we are somewhat in a forest, and you can already tell these houses, none of them look identical, none of them look the same, which is nice. So this house right here that we're about to pull up to is a four bedroom house with 4 bathrooms. It's about 2,900 square feet. This house right behind me, and it's sitting on a 17,000 square foot lot, and it was built in 2000. So this neighborhood, like I said, is a little bit of older of a neighborhood, but these houses here have character. The current list price for this house right here is $649,000. So $649,000, you guys tell me if it's worth it. Let's go inside and take a look to see if this is something that you would consider a home. think the house looks, overall, I think it looks nice. I think there's a few areas you can probably see in the footage that it might need a little bit of love, a little bit of touch-ups. But let's go take a look outside and check out the backyard. Now, I forgot to mention to you guys, now this house does have solar panels, and what's nice is the solar panels are paid off. If you've watched one of my previous videos, I did tell you guys to watch out for houses that have solar panels that are not paid off, because at the end of the day, if the homeowner cannot pay off the loan with the proceeds from selling the home, you will be ultimately responsible for picking up and assuming that loan, which could make or break the deal. So it's always something to look out for. Solar panels aren't bad when you're buying a house that already has them, as long as it's already paid off, because the mortgage lender is not going to give you excess funds to help you cover solar panels. So just keep that in mind whenever you're house shopping. One thing I did want to mention to you guys is that out of the 640 plus homes that are here in this neighborhood, there's not a lot of turnover here, which is actually interesting if you think about it. So if there's 640 homes and there's just not a lot of turnover, that should tell you something that, you know, people really enjoy living in this community. Maybe a lot of people would just say, I'm going to live here until the day I die. Who knows? But it's almost a rarity to find a house here in this neighborhood for sale. I mean, they do come up periodically, but it's not like, you know, out of 640 plus homes, you would expect, you know, dozens of homes for sale listed, you know, constantly or every quarter or something. But it's almost a rarity, like I said, to find a house here for sale. But this is the reason why a lot of people love this community. You know, there's probably a really close, tight-knit community here. A lot of people probably know each other. So it says a lot of the turnover here. It says a lot about the community in general. Well, I hope that tour of that house was helpful for you guys. I'll throw in some footage of some drive-bys so you can get a feel of what the neighborhood looks like. After that, we'll be on our way to the next community. All right, y'all, well, we have reached our next community tour, and this community where I'm at right now is called Sterling Creek. Sterling Creek is a development with a custom home builder named David Weekley and has been around for years. If you are looking for new construction, there are limited opportunities remaining here at Sterling Creek before they close out development. New homes here start at $550,000 and size ranges from 2,375 square foot to 4,144 square foot. HOA dues here are $865 annually, and the tax rate is at 2.2%. Residents enjoy upscale living in a gated community here in exemplary Friendswood ISD. Sterling Creek is located in Galveston County and is across the street from Friendswood Lakes. Sterling Creek has been around since, you know, maybe the mid 2000s, and the main builder here is called David Weekley. David Weekley is a phenomenal builder, custom home builder. It's not really some of your track homes that you're going to see like DR Horton or things like that. Beautiful, beautiful products they put out here. And this community isn't that big. It's not the biggest one in Friendswood, but this community is a wonderful community to call home. Now, what's cool about this is they still have construction going on. So if you want to get in while they have a little bit of, they have just a small number of lots left over for you in order to build from scratch. But if you didn't want to build from scratch, we're coming up on this house right here. You'll see right there, nice beautiful home built in 2012. And it's listed just shy under $1 million, $999,910 is what it's listed at. But we're gonna go inside. I'm gonna take you guys inside so you can take a look and see for yourself what $1 million will get you inside Sterling Creek. So this property right behind me is 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 4,700 square foot on a 12,000 square foot lot built in 2012. So let's go inside and take a look and check this place out. So I think I've mentioned this before in one of my other videos, is if you want a pool, which, man, if you're gonna be moving to the Houston area, let me tell you, a pool is gonna be like your savior. It is hot and humid in Houston almost year round. Humid, sticky, just nasty, right? But if you purchase a house with a pool, if you want a pool, ideally you'd want to buy a house that already has a pool in it, because the cost of installing a pool nowadays are pretty astronomical compared to where they were pre-COVID era, or maybe just right after COVID. If you want a pool, which I'd highly encourage you, if you did want one, buy a house with a pool already installed, because Houston area, like I said, is extremely humid, hot. The summers are almost unbearable here. And this one, I love this property because it already comes gated. So especially with the moms out there who might be a little bit concerned with their children, you know, you have a gate here, which is nice. And so I definitely encourage everybody who ends up installing a pool is to get a gate around the pool. Plus it'll probably help out with your insurance premiums as well. All right guys, well, we've made it to our next community. The name of this neighborhood is called Avalon. And here at Avalon is a luxury new construction master plan community. So if you're looking to be in a community, you want new construction and you want luxury, this is it. So the floor plan that you just saw is called Montego, and the base model starts at 1.3 million, and what you just saw inside is going to be around that $1.5 million range. And the builder here is called Taylor Morrison. Now Taylor Morrison, as you can tell, puts out an amazing product. So if you're looking for luxury and you want to be in a community in Friendswood, this is going to be the neighborhood that you're going to want to be in. Avalon at Friendswood is the newest development in town, and the builder, Taylor Morrison, is still currently selling lots here. Taylor Morrison was voted America's most trusted home builder for 4 consecutive years and offers a wide array of flexibility. Homes in Avalon start at $660,000 up to $1.6 million and ranges from 3 to 5 bedrooms, 2 to 5.5 bathrooms, 2,998 to 3,970 square feet, and up to a 4-car garage. When development is complete, this will be a prestigious gated community for that extra layer of security. HOA dues are not cheap. They are coming in at $1,800 annually. However, the neighborhood has plentiful amenities for its residents, which include a 36-acre lake with community kayaks, fishing, a beautiful pavilion, basketball courts, pickleball courts, several parks, a terraced event lawn with a summer house and outdoor fireplace, and lush landscaping and butterfly gardens. The tax rate is slightly higher than the previous neighborhoods that we have covered thus far, coming in at 2.3%. Avalon is located in Galveston County and zoned to Friendswood ISD. Children here will be going to Klein Elementary, Friendswood Junior High, and Friendswood High School. Well, we have reached one of my absolute favorite communities in Friendswood that is on the Harris County side of Friendswood. And this community that I'm in is called Friendswood Oaks. Now, Friendswood Oaks has about 250 homes here, and you can see me walking around this pond right now, but there's, I don't know, maybe a few dozen homes surrounding the pond. But this is a lovely community. One of my favorites, like I said, that is on the Harris County side, super close to Baybrook Mall, super close to Bay Area, super close to 528. Now this community is, I wouldn't say older, but it was built in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. So I think development started probably around 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. But overall, this community is a phenomenal place to be. It's a beautiful community here. A lot of homes here have pools. So if you're, one of those clients that is looking for a nice community to be in with a low tax rate, and you want a pool already installed before you purchase a home, well, this is probably going to be your best bet. Friendswood Oaks is a lovely neighborhood with proximity to I-45 and all of the amenities to Baybrook Mall. The neighborhood has a total of 250 homes with a median lot size of 12,000 square foot. The tax rate is an attractive 2% before homestead exemptions. The median size of homes here is 4,400 square feet, a median home value sitting right under $600,000, and a median price per square foot of $147. The HOA dues here are $750 annually, and the amenities in this neighborhood include a tennis court, a playground, a pavilion, and walking paths around the community pond. Friendswood Oaks is located in Harris County and is zoned to Clear Creek ISD, which is an awarded A-rated school district. Well, I hope that information was helpful to you guys all about Friendswood Oaks. So what's really nice about Friendswood is your dollar can stretch here. So if you're looking for the largest house with the least amount possible when it comes to the purchase price, this is going to be your best bet. So a lot of these homes here, I mean, I'd say the smallest home is probably 3,500 square foot. And the largest home that I've seen in this neighborhood is almost 6,000 square foot. And I think the 6,000 square foot actually went for $850,000. So you can get a really nice sized house, really large house for a whole lot less than you were if you were going to buy one inside Friendswood, that is on the Galveston County side, zone to FISD, sorry about that. But we're coming up on this house right behind me. This house right here is listed at $689,000, and it's a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath home, and it's on 4,900 square foot, or it's on a 12,000 square foot lot, and it's 4,900 square foot inside. Beautiful home inside. Like I said, this neighborhood was pretty much built in 2007, 2008. This home right here was built in 2009. So you can tell these homes are really big, and your dollar can really stretch here when it comes to the amount of home that you can get compared to a house like this. Pick it up, move it into Galveston County on the Friendswood ISD side. It's going to be a heck of a lot more expensive. Like I said, one thing I like about this neighborhood though, it is somewhat small. You have 250 homes here in this neighborhood, but you're really close to all of the major freeways, right? So right here next to I-45, you know, stone throw away, get to, you know, downtown Houston, or you need to get to Galveston. Man, check out that yard right there. That yard, beautifully manicured. Yard of the month right there, man. That's beautiful. But you can tell these houses here are very well kept. But yeah, so this neighborhood has a pretty low tax rate, 2%. So that's one thing, like I said before, to watch out for is the tax rate. But yeah, your dollar will stretch here in this community versus picking up a 5,000 square foot home, moving it to Galveston County inside Friendswood, zoned to Friendswood ISD school. So you are zoned to Clear Creek here, like I mentioned in the stats, but again, Clear Creek ISD is still a phenomenal school district. It's just a much larger district. I think they have like 5 high schools now, but they have a really large stadium too. So if you're into football and your kids are in football, but check out these homes. I mean, they're very nice. A lot of these, see that little piece right there? So that little side house, there's a couple homes here in this development that have a mother-in-law suite. So it's completely built out as a mother-in-law suite, which is really cool. So a separate living quarters all together with its own bathroom, its own kitchen, its own living room. If you're looking to stretch your dollar and you're not too concerned of battling it out between Friendswood ISD or Clear Creek ISD, this is a neighborhood that I would highly encourage all of you to put on your list to check out. All right, y'all, we have reached our final community in this tour. We are here in one of the largest, most affordable communities in all of Friendswood. And before I tell you where I'm at, I wanted to tell you why I'm putting this here in this video. You know, when you Google or YouTube, you know, various areas around certain communities or certain towns, a lot of what you're gonna find is multi-million-dollar properties, luxury properties, high-end properties. And it's almost like most people really just leave out the most affordable, and they don't think about the working class individuals. And so I think it's important for you guys and for everybody else watching this video that we do include some of the most affordable communities in these areas that we cover. And so you'll see right behind me, this property right here, I'm in a neighborhood called Heritage Park. Now Heritage Park, first of all, is one of the largest communities in all of Friendswood. There's thousands of homes here in this community, and it's a bit of an older, more established neighborhood, been around since the early 80s. So you'll find a lot of property here that maybe needs some a little bit of love and a little bit of work. But sometimes you'll find some that have been loved on, that have been remodeled, that have been through that process of where, they're dumping money into it and bringing it back to its natural glory. So you'll find a lot of people will buy homes here for investment properties. A lot of people will either flip them, keep them for a buy and hold. And then a lot of people actually just live here and call this place home, like this is their primary residence. Heritage Park is one of the largest communities in Friendswood and features 3,541 single-family homes and is also the most affordable neighborhood within the city limits of Friendswood. Median home values in Heritage Park is $310,000 and a median price per square foot at $155. Median lot size here is 6,800 square feet and a median home size is just shy of under 2,000 square feet. The community was built in the early 1990s and is located in Harris County. The tax rate is very attractive at 1.9% and the annual HOA dues are a low $350. Residents here are zoned to Clear Creek ISD and enjoy quick and easy access to major freeways such as I-45 and is in proximity to Baybrook Mall. This home right behind me is a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom home for sale for $375,000. It was built in 1990, and so it's around 2,500 square foot. And so I think that's a pretty good, decent price for a 2,500 square foot, 2-story home built in the 1990s. So let's get inside and check this thing out. This is, like I said, this neighborhood is one of the most affordable communities in all of Friendswood, and Heritage Park is one of the largest neighborhoods here in Friendswood. So let's go take a look. Well, for a 5-bedroom home in Heritage Park for $375,000, I don't think that's that bad of a deal at all. I think that's a pretty good deal, actually. Depending on your taste, you may say that this might or might not need a little bit of loving, but you know what? $375,000 for a 5-bedroom home, 2,500 square foot. Hey man, that might be a good deal to some people, just depending on what you're looking for. So don't write off Heritage Park just yet. Let's go take a look at this last one. All right, y'all, so our final house of the Heritage Park tour is going to land us here directly at this spot. This house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,700 square foot, and it's currently on the market for $310,000. I'll throw up some pictures so you guys can see what the interior looks like. We're not going to go inside this particular property, but I wanted to showcase what you can get in Heritage Park. It's like I said, a lot of people want to just showcase the more expensive properties, but I think it's important that working class individuals are not forgotten about, because not everyone can afford 900 grand. Not everybody can afford $1 million. So it's important to showcase these more affordable communities. But Heritage Park is a really great neighborhood. I mean, it's massive. There's thousands of homes here, thousands of opportunities to choose from. You want investment property, you can pick one up here for pretty good. The rent prices here are pretty good. At any given moment, I want to say there's probably, maybe 25 to 35 listings for sale at a time in this neighborhood out of the thousands that are here. Another thing that I wanted to tell you too is CD Landolt is going to be the elementary school that you guys are going to be zoned to. And CD Landolt is just right that direction, like you're a couple of blocks from the school on this section of Heritage Park. So if you have little ones that are in elementary school right now, you have a very short commute to get them to school. You can even drive them if you want to. I think you're a little bit too close to the school for a bus to come pick them up, but don't quote me on that. Don't take that to the bank. I'm pretty sure when you're this close to a school, they're not gonna be a bus ride. You're gonna have to pick them up or drop them off, but you're walking distance to it from right here. So that's gonna wrap it up for our community tours. I hope that you enjoyed the community tours that we've done so far. And I wanna make something very clear to all of you guys out there watching this.
But listen up now, this is serious.
That this list, the list that we've covered thus far for Friendswood, is not meant to be an exhaustive list, but an exhaustive list by any stretch of the imagination. There are plenty, dozens and dozens of other phenomenal communities here in Friendswood. We just simply don't have enough time to cover every last one of them. We would be here for days and days and days trying to cover every single community per every township in the greater Houston region. We just couldn't possibly do it. But I will say this, if there is a community that you want to know more, have more information about, or you want me to do a video on, feel free to put it in the comment section down below and I'll be happy to create a video. I surely hope that this video was great for you guys. I hope that you were able to take away some very important information, and my biggest goal is for you to make the most educated decision when it comes to relocating to the Houston area based off of your budget, based off what you're looking for, and we can get here on the ground level to show you what it's actually like to call a community home here. So if you have any pointers, or I will take criticism. If there's something that you didn't like about the video, if there's something that you want us to do differently for these home tours, yeah, put it in the comments. I'll read all of them, and we'll do our best to continue to produce high quality content for you guys. So at the end of the day, you and your family, or you, can make the best decision possible with the information that you've been given at hand. Well, y'all, that's gonna wrap it up for our Friendswood Texas community tour. I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, do me a solid and hit the subscribe button down below and tap the bell icon so you can be the first to get notified about the current market conditions here in the Houston, Texas region. We will leave all of our contact information in the description box down below, and we would be honored to help you make a smooth move to Houston, Texas. Signing off for now, see you guys next time.